You are a creator in every way imaginable. But what happens is in the mental prison, in the body, and identifying with the outside circumstances, we get caught in this trap of yesterday, last week, last year. Why? Because our body has a nervous system. And especially when we were young kids, from the day we were born to about age 7 or 8, our brain waves were wide open in a theta state. We were making sense of our world. We were taking everything in. We were getting to know this physical plane. And we had traumatic experiences that, in different ways, that made us feel not safe. So what happens is those get imprinted into our nervous system, which is really just energy that gets stuck. It's unprocessed, and it gets lodged into our system. And then as adults, teenagers, and then adults, things happen in the external environment that trigger the nervous system from those memories where we didn't feel like we were safe, or we formed a belief that was rooted in fear that wasn't necessarily true and might have helped us adapt at the time. But we carry all of that into the now. We carry all of the traumatic experiences. We carry all the programming, all the influences, all of the ways that we perceived and got to know the world, whether that was from our parents, coaches, teachers, media, culture, all of it. Boom! It got put into us. And now the game is to recognize that, to be aware of that, and then say, okay, it is now time for me to take responsible as a conscious, divine, sovereign being to rewire and reprogram myself in a way that works. And I get to do that in the exact way that I want. No longer, and it comes first with an intention and a declaration, something along the lines of, I no longer am being held into the same reality of my past. I am moving away from a reality that is repeating, a consciousness where I find myself looping and experiencing the same things over and over again. Why? Because I'm having reactions from my nervous system, and I am attaching to those reactions, those feelings, and I'm responding in the same way. I'm taking the reaction over and over and over again. So to create a new reality, to create a new personality, right? Because your personality is your thoughts, your attitudes, your beliefs. As Dr. Joe Dispenza says, your personality creates your personal reality, and it's true in every way. So you have to become aware, right? The first step is awareness. It's catching yourself. Where are we using the language that is keeping us in that same place? Where is that limiting belief showing up? Where is that emotional trigger keeping us bound to outdated beliefs and concepts about who we are and what the world is? Because who we are is pure consciousness in this now moment. When we access the quantum realm, we are in the now space. We are in a place where all possibilities exist. We're in a place where we can choose a new doorway instead of opening the same old thing again, right? We're copying and pasting yesterday's reality through our thoughts and our feelings and our interpretations into the now space, and we're getting the same things over and over again. For people who, like me, have been their own worst enemy, who love to procrastinate, who love to be, you have bouts of laziness, and you feel it, and it seems like you're not moving forward, right? The only reason that that's even happening is because it's a fear. It's a fear and a belief that you have held on to for a long time in your life, and you weren't aware of it. So when you start to get present to where that fear is coming up, where you're making that same subtle choice every day, where that little feeling comes up that steers the choice that you make. Am I making this choice in love or in fear? So we have so many things that are trying to keep us rooted into the past, right? Every day, we're informed by our environment of the choices that we made yesterday and the day before that, and so on. So we're constantly being informed by our environment of our past choices. That's how we've gotten to know ourselves. And Paul Selig does a great job talking about this in he has a lot of different books, but he talks about how we get to know ourselves through what surrounds us. So for many of us, we've made choices out of fear. We made choices out of beliefs and perceptions from our past that were coming from a place of our ego, our sense of identity, and our labels, and all the ways that we've understood ourselves in the world. And we're attaching to those, and we're out of the quantum space. We're out of this now moment because we're anchored to the past. When in truth, the deepest truth that right now, what exists is everything. We're pure consciousness. And the more we can start to understand that, understand that, and embody that. I'm not the same as I was yesterday. I'm more enlightened than I was yesterday. I'm more powerful than I was yesterday. I'm more aware of myself than I was yesterday. Today I make new choices. Today, even in the smallest little moment where I could, if I feel any pain, if I feel something that I don't want to feel, instead of distracting myself by going on my phone or, ripping down some caffeine or eating something, whatever it might be, I can choose, you know what? No, I'm going to stay with this. I'm going to be in this moment. Choose a new path. I'm going to let that emotion be there so that it can integrate, so I don't have to keep experiencing the same trigger over and over, because that emotion just wants to integrate. It wants to become whole again. When we're avoiding it and we're not facing it, it can't become whole. It can't become integrated. It becomes separate. And so what does it do? It keeps showing up. It keeps knocking at the door. Hey, I want to integrate. Come on. I want to become whole again. Stop separating me. And that's what emotions do, right? This wasn't taught to us. We were not taught how to manage emotions, what they were. We weren't taught to create our realities, right? We were conditioned. We were programmed by a lot of the factors that I mentioned earlier: the culture, the media, our parents, teachers, coaches, all these different things. And now it is up to us to reclaim our true nature, to reclaim the pure consciousness that we are. We're an expression of the infinite, having a physical experience in a body, and to know the depths of what that energy is for us individually. And this is the journey. This is the most exciting part of life, when you start to wake up to knowing this and you start to realize my future truly is unwritten. And for those of us who are in a depression, or who are feeling stuck and who are feeling like the same things keep showing up, it's really simple to come out of this. In theory, it's simple, but in practice, in becoming aware, right, of your micro choices, of your subtle feelings that were driving you to make certain decisions, you got to do what you can to create more presence, whether that's meditation, whether that's breath work, sound healing, being out in nature, just being in your body, being grounded. Walking barefoot through nature is great for this. And this is going to help us to come back to that place of knowing, embodying, my future is unwritten. This is a blank page. Every day the sun comes up, this is a blank page for me to write a new story. Now, if my mind is having the same thoughts as the day before, the week before, that is going to somatically inform my body how to feel. And then through those feelings in my body, it's going to inform the choices that I make, because we make choices based on how we feel. And I'm going to repeat the same shit over and over again. So the more we can bring into our awareness the quantum realm, the now space, all things exist right here. I don't need to choose the same thing that I've always been choosing. I don't need to choose that same reaction. But when I get awareness over that reaction, it no longer has power over me. Now, I might have that same reaction again and again, but as you start to notice it, as you start to see it, it starts to lose that grip, that stranglehold that kept you stuck in that past, in that mental prison, right? The mental prison that wants to keep you safe, comfortable, limited. It's the ego. It's the stranglehold of the ego. Now, your ego is beautiful. Your ego is a part of this human experience. It is not to be shamed. It is not to be condemned. It is not to be transcended. It is to be honored, and we have to be the conscious adults to nurture that scared little child inside of us that got programmed through those traumas when we were young. So we're at the point now where we have to understand the mechanics of ourselves, and we have to bring compassion to that scared little child that might be reacting or lashing out or doing something based in fear. It is up to us to give ourselves the love that maybe our parents didn't give us, the love that maybe we didn't receive from the world when we expected it. You know, all those times that we looked out into our reality and we saw love withheld. We come from this place of pure source energy to then seeing love withheld in our world, and that even that is traumatic. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't register. So we adapt and we do things to be loved, right? We give up our authenticity, and we try to say the right things, try to be the right person in order to get the attention and the love from our parents, from our friends, our social circles, and so forth. So what this is, writing your future is unwritten. It's a constant reminder. It's a constant stepping into. It's a declaration. It's a mantra. I will look at this every day so that it gets embodied, so that it becomes something that I'm thinking about all the time, so it's becomes something I start to feel. Think about this. What resonates more with your body? I am a powerful, divine, sovereign being. I create my reality. All possibilities exist before me. I can do anything. Everything is available to me. Amazing opportunities are coming to me all the time. My life is opening up in a beautiful, brand new way. I'm opening like a flower and blossoming. Does that resonate with your body? How does that feel in your body compared to, oh, same day, same shit? I'm at this job I don't like. I'm surrounded by these people that I don't vibe with. I'm in an environment that doesn't allow me to thrive. You know, some type of victim consciousness or victim thought. And can you feel how dense that is in your body, right? You can feel the density of that compared to what I was saying before. So your body's communicating your truth there, right? It's showing you through your emotional guidance system. It's saying, hey, that's the realness, right? When you're got that excitement, you got that feeling of flow, of in the moment, of yes, that direction. Your body's saying, yes, go that way. And then when you are having those other thoughts, your body tenses up and it feels stress. And then those stress hormones start to kick in, and they start to make you feel like you're in a threatened situation. And you can't create from that place. You can't create anything new when your fight or flight kicks in. Why? Because all of your resources are going to survival. So that's what we're coming out of. That's what we're shifting away from. We are evolving into the human that is authentic, that is living in the now, that understands, okay, yes, my childhood, my teenage years, I was programmed, I was influenced, all of these things happened, but that is no longer me. And those belief systems and those ways of perceiving myself and the world around me are no longer valid. That's not what I'm choosing anymore. I choose to be authentic and free. And I free myself by being in the moment and being aware of when the past and old limitations come up, when those same familiar feelings in my body come up, and I say, no, I'm not choosing that anymore. But you bring love and compassion. That's a big part of this. The love and compassion piece, when those things show up, is going to allow you to integrate them so they no longer appear in your reality, because life is giving you situations to integrate and to heal and to evolve. And anything that's in the way of that is going to keep showing up. And if we keep making the same choices and taking the same actions, we're going to be on the same level of that video game over and over and over again. And I had to learn this for years before I really started to get it. A lot of suffering happened before I started to get this. So it's so imperative. Oh, it is so imperative to Do what it takes for you to really internalize this. Put yourself around people who are sharing this vision, that want to be in this place. Have more conversations around it. Put reminders to yourself. Like I said, meditation, and getting to that place where, this is why I love meditation. This is the last thing I'm going to say on this, because this is so important. When you meditate, you create space. So even if you just take like 10 minutes at the beginning of your day, and you just clear yourself of the thoughts, you clear yourself of the judgments, you clear yourself of what am I going to do today? And you just get into the present moment, and you just be with that. And you just observe everything that's showing up, feelings, thoughts. You just observe it. You don't attach to any of it. What that does is it creates space, right? It gives you the bandwidth. It gives your body more space that instead of going right into the reaction, it's like it's able to look at it for a few extra seconds. And those few extra seconds are key to creating a new future, opening a new door, taking out a new pen, and writing a new story, right? So these are tools we got to use. We're in a place where we got to do it, right? We're in a place where if we don't do these things, we're going to have more resistance to life. We're going to have more resistance to what is in the moment, and we're going to suffer. And it's not a bad thing. It's not life trying to punish us. It's life trying to get us to move forward. It's life trying to get us to evolve. It's life saying, come on, you're ready. And now it's getting more obvious because it keeps showing up, and you say, oh, okay, I now choose something different. I now have enough contrast. I now have enough suffering to make a new choice. But we don't have to let it get to that point. We can be more conscious, and we can, that's why I'm putting out this message, because we can tune into these things. We can feel the frequency of it. And that in itself can put us in a place of more awareness, create more bandwidth. So that's what I got for today. Your future's unwritten, right? Like, write a new story, make a new choice, open a new door, enter the quantum realm where all possibilities exist. Your dreams you have them for a reason, right? It's not this sick thing that we're never going to get, and we have these visions and aspirations that we could never attain. No, they're all there for us. Our heart's desire is there for a reason, right? That's what we came here for, to make that happen, in the joy of making that happen. We're not meant to be stuck in a mental prison. We're not meant to be limited by our own perceptions. So it's time to take off the glasses of old, put on the new ones, and get ready for the wildest, most amazing ride you could ever imagine.